Hey Year 7, welcome to your lesson on simple, compound and complex sentences. Okay, so our learning objective for today is to use a variety of sentence structures for impact. This is really important because if we are using only one type of sentence in our writing becomes really repetitive and becomes a little bit boring. This is something that you're actually marked on in NAPLAN, so we want to make sure that you have these skills so that you're ready in the next couple of months for NAPLAN. The first thing I'd like you to do is to write the heading in your workbook, sentences. So that's all you're doing. You're opening up your workbook, you're writing the heading in a different colour pen, sentences. The next thing I'd like you to write is what's on the screen here. So 3 sentence types, simple, compound and complex. So I'll give you a minute to sort that out. So you should have your books open, you should be writing the heading sentences, and of course the date goes at the top of your page as well, and then you're writing a little subheading underneath that, 3 sentence types, simple, compound and complex. Okay, you can always pause this video if you need a little bit more time to write. Otherwise, let's move on. Okay, first of all, simple sentences. Now, like the name suggests, these sentences are quite simple. I'd like you to write the subheading, simple sentences in your workbook, so writing that in a red pen. The main thing you need to know about simple sentences is that they contain one piece of information. So they're only sending one message. So can you write that down too, please? So you should have simple sentences as a subheading, and then underneath that, you can just do this as a little dot point, contain one piece of information. Now I'm going to keep going, but you can pause the video if you need to. Okay, the other thing that you need to know is that a simple sentence, for a sentence to make sense, it needs to contain a subject and a verb. So a subject is a noun. So it's the person, place, or thing that is being talked about in a sentence. So in this sentence here, she changed the light bulb. The subject of the sentence is she. Changed is the verb because that's the doing word. She changed the light bulb. She didn't like fixing things. So these are just 2 examples of simple sentences. So I'd like you to choose one of them and write them down in your workbook, please. She changed the light bulb. She didn't like fixing things. Both simple sentences. They only contain one complete thought. There is a subject in each. She is the subject of each. And they each contain a verb. So changed is a verb in this one, and didn't like is the verb in this one. That's what's being done. A verb is a doing word. Okay, so far you should have 3 sentence types, simple, compound, complex. You should have the subheading that says simple sentences with the writing underneath that says one complete thought. Then you should also have an example. So she changed the light bulb. Cool, let's move on. All right, now we're going to make that simple sentence a compound sentence. So this is getting a little bit trickier here, but still we're just sticky taping 2 simple sentences together. So I need you to write the heading, compound sentences. Just a subheading underneath your work already. And then you're writing this little definition underneath it. We need 2 simple sentences and a conjunction. So a conjunction is kind of like a sticky tape word. So you've got some examples there. You've got and, so, but, if, when. You might have something like for, or nevertheless, or yet. So you're writing down this little definition that's on the screen in your workbook. So I'm going to show you what this looks like in a moment. So you've got two simple sentences joined by a conjunction. So she changed the light bulb, but she didn't like fixing things. So you can see how there are two simple sentences in there joined together by that sticky tape word. I wonder if you can see which of these words is the sticky tape word. That's it there, but. That's the word that joins it together. If you read it, if you take out the but, she changed the light bulb, she didn't like fixing things. Two simple sentences. When you put the but in there or you put the conjunction in there, it makes it one whole compound sentence. Now I'm just going to go back to that one. Can you please write down that example in your workbook and please circle but and make sure you label it. So do a little label coming off here that says conjunction. Remember, conjunction is the sticky tape word, the piece of sticky tape that joins the two simple sentences together. So copy that down. You can press pause on the video if you want to, but otherwise I'm going to keep going. Okay, complex sentences. Now you need to write this subheading in your workbook as well. You can pause the video if you need to. Okay, complex sentences. Sounds like they're tricky, but they're not. So they begin with the conjunction. So they begin with that sticky tape word, and the ideas are separated by a comma. Now that sounds confusing, but I'll show you what it looks like. It's really not as complicated as it sounds. She was a great English teacher. She couldn't change a light bulb safely. So they're two simple sentences at the moment. Now let's see, we need to add a conjunction at the start, so a sticky tape word at the start, and we need to join these two simple sentences together with a comma. I want you to see if you can figure it out. All right, let's have a go. Although she was a great English teacher, she couldn't change a light bulb safely. So you see how we've got that conjunction at the start. You've got although she was a great English teacher, and then it's joining the two simple sentences together with a comma. So copy this example down in your workbook, please. You can pause the video if you need to. Make sure you circle the conjunction and label it, write conjunction above it, a little line coming off it, and then also circle the comma to show that you understand how these two simple sentences have been changed to join together to form a complex sentence. Now, what's the point of all of this? So it's all about impact. Like I said at the start, your writing can get really boring if you're only using one type of sentence. So let's have a look at how this looks when we write a whole paragraph. Okay, so all three of the sentence types are included here. Although she wasn't the most skilled at changing light bulbs, she needed to be able to see. As she turned the bulb, a bolt of electricity shocked her system. She left the power on. She was dazed and confused, but she was okay. She thought she should probably stick to teaching English. Okay, now on Schoology, task 3 in the sentences folder, there's another quiz for you to do. Now this quiz just has this exact paragraph repeated, but you need to match the sentences with the sentence type. So the first sentence is written in there, you might need to match it with a compound, complex, or simple sentence, depending on which type you think it is. Now you have 3 attempts at this quiz. I want you to keep going until you get it right. The correct answers will appear at the end of the quiz, so make sure that you read them carefully and have a think about why the answers are what they are. Good luck.